Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Dickinson. I will be giving a presentation on Booker T. Washington. I am currently in the Theories of Historical and Social Foundations of Education at Liberty University. So, an overview of Booker T. Washington: he was born a slave, became the most famous African American of the 19th century. He would teach himself to read and write while working at a factory. He was the founder of the Tuskegee Institute, and he would be greatly critiqued by W.E.B. Du Bois. So his philosophy can be broken up into two parts. The first being to build a system, order, and regularity into their lives. So African Americans are newly freed. This is right after the Civil War. Booker T. Washington would be extremely popular during the late 19th century and early 20th century. And so his idea was that, hey, we have to show these newly freed slaves, hey, this is now your life. We had to build you a system. Your entire life, you've been told when to work and how to work. Now you get to work on your own accord. You get to do as you please and make your own path. His other philosophy can be attributed to General Armstrong, who believed that education must be a struggle not for life alone, but for the lives of others. So he also believed that, hey, we must do this for our community. We must do this for the next generation of African Americans to have a way to make their way into society and not be looked down upon by the color of their skin, but how much skill they have or economic advantages. Just a little bit of background and cultural context. So, Booker T. Washington emphasized industrial education and economic self sufficiency as a basis necessary for Black liberation. So, his philosophy was if African Americans are going to make their way into society and actually rise above their social class structure that they are currently in, they must have some type of education. And this education could be blacksmith, bricklaying, construction, anything like that. But they actually need to know what they're doing. They need to be able to do the job proficiently and not just a simple task, maybe laying the foundation and know more than just doing that. That way they can go into business for themselves. So he will be the founder of the Tuskegee Institute on July 4th, 1881. Began as a broken down shanty building. The next year, 100-acre plantation was purchased to provide more room and facilities for the school system that was indeed growing. Another thing that was really interesting about this institute is that once they got the land acreage and the money to do so, he wanted the students to actually build the building. He believed that this would teach the students how to do it, as well as have the students take pride in their work, and they will be proud of what they are doing, and they'll be proud of their school that they are a part of. So he will be criticized while doing this. You have to think it is in the late 1800s during the Jim Crow era of the South. And with this, um, the governors and political parties and white mobs do not like the idea that African Americans are learning skills and trades due to their social class structure that they've been a part of their entire existence. So the fact that they are doing better or could potentially be doing better than the white race really infuriates them because the white race fears that they will no longer be superior to African Americans, that they know more than them. And also, his other biggest critique would be W.E.B. Du Bois. Some people have compared W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington to the Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. of the late 1800s, early 1900s. So where Booker T. Washington believed that African Americans should learn a skill, W.E.B. Du Bois felt that learning a skill or a vocational trade will be just another status of servitude to helping the white race. W.B. Du Bois believed that it should be more than vocational training. They should have an academic skill and that they should have full-blown equal rights, whereas Booker T. Washington was willing to abide by the idea of Jim Crow as long as African Americans were able to better themselves financially.